Hello there everybody, my name is Amanamello and welcome back to Super Mario Odyssey. Now we need to get a few power moons before we can leave this island and go on to the lustrous Metro Kingdom with all its corporate people and all that. All their corporate agendas. Well, they're just dressed in suits and that's all it really is. But yeah, I just had an idea about what would be another good reason to get games for Virtual Console onto the Wii U. Here is a simple answer. Well, yeah, if they do have Virtual Console on for Switch, you can also have that. But for the Wii Virtual Console, you can't easily have Wii Virtual Console stuff for the Switch, at least I think. But it would seem very impractical, I think. Well, I mean, why wouldn't it? But anyway, I think the one thing that would be very practical would be, you could be able to do a capture, be able to do capture card with Nintendo Switch with recording and not Nintendo Switch. You can, of course, do capture card with Nintendo Switch. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a capture device with a Nintendo Switch. But what I'm saying is... Oh, wow. I just died anyway. Okay. But what I'm saying is that, like, Game Boy Advance games and Wii games don't necessarily have HDMI cables, but with a video capture device, you're able to, record games that are on, the Wii U. And it makes it a lot more convenient and makes it, a lot better. Makes it a lot more straightforward so you don't have to get, ridiculous devices to compensate for the fact that you don't have enough money. Ooh, gotta be careful there. Almost fell there. Well, not enough money. Well, yeah, not enough money to get new outlets and all that. Because I'm actually glad that that there are Virtual Console games that I want to get that are on for the Wii U. And if it wasn't for the Wii U, I don't think people would be nearly as able to do so much live streams for Fire Emblem Sacred Stones from what it looks like a year ago. So yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but apparently a lot of people... I mean, it's still 10 million people. 10 million people is still a lot. It's not like, oh, it's just 10 million people. It's not like it was 50 million like the 3DS, but 10 million, it's not a whole lot for a business, but it's not like nobody played it. 10 million is still a lot. I mean, no, it's not a lot for like phone markets and all that where they get hundreds of millions, but it's still a whole lot in general of just people. So you can't just say that there was nobody that played on it, because when I played on the Switch, I was able to play with people on Mario Kart 8, on Splatoon, on Super Smash Brothers, on what were the other stuff? On Xenoblade Chronicles X, and many other games that also had online functionality. And yeah, those aren't up anymore because they shut down Miiverse. I'm actually very sad about that. They shut down Miiverse. Miiverse was pretty great. I never really used it that much, but at least I got to see conversations of other people that were about certain topics that I was interested in, and I did participate in them, though since there was really no notification for me to necessarily know when people posted videos, I had no idea to know when they posted. That was one thing that I think that they lacked, is that they had no notification services to let people know when they were available, when a person put a notification. I don't know if they did or not, but as far as I could tell with what I had, or at least the settings that I had on my system, it didn't work. And I just hope that at least the online service that Nintendo has is going to be better than what Miiverse was. And I'm hoping that they aren't just abandoning Miiverse all the way, and that Miiverse was just an experimental phase, and that they finally perfected it, but they needed to abandon Miiverse and come up with something new, which was the new Nintendo Online Service. Who knows? It may not be called Nintendo Online Service. It may be straightforward. It may be called that. But it may also just be, just as simple. Maybe they may just make it, a new name. Because Nintendo has never exactly named their services just simple Nintendo Online Services. They've always done spontaneous ways, like when they did that whole online drawing, community, which is Haytena. They called it Flipnote Studio for the program on the DSi, but for the whole online network, it was called Haytena, and people went wild with that. Like, people Maybe only like 1 million people used that service, but it was still a pretty fun service back in the day before YouTube became super mainstream and all that. That was my YouTube. Heytena was my YouTube because I got to see unique animations all the time. A lot were average and some were crappy, and some were just plain just pictures of people just showing their iPhones and all that. And some were just like flat out scams. Like, yeah, they were people like saying, you'll get free DSI wear if you do this. If you watch this video and download our thing, which was just a way of just getting easily popular. They would be all like, yeah, just do this and you'll get your free DSI points. Like free Nintendo DSI points, because people were like really into DSI games at that time. And because there were really some really fun DSI games, like the original Rayman that was on the PlayStation and on the PC. And like also the Mario versus Donkey Kong 3 that was also on for the, wait, where am I going? I'm supposed to be going to a new path, like right here. Anyway, yeah, right here. But yeah, anyway, what's in here? Okay. I never really been in here before. But what was I talking about again? I can't exactly remember. What am I getting wrong? What am I getting wrong? Am I supposed to do it in a certain way? There we go, got it. Now I got more than enough. It's too bad that this area doesn't have that, special, unique boss or anything in this area. But anyway, let's move on to go down here. Oh, hey, that parrot. Ooh, oh well. Just move on. I forgot for a second what I was talking about. Okay, what was I talking about? It had something to do with... Oh yeah, DSI. The DSI. Yeah, Nintendo did have a whole lot of crazy stuff. The Heytena network was crazy. There was a whole lot of fun stuff, a whole lot of fun animations, especially this one little channel. Like, people were able to make their own channels for their own animations. A lot of people did stick figure animations. But one did one so crazy, they decided to make their own type of fighting stick animation. And they had their own little mini-series and all that. And they even had their own little parody to where they're making it seem like they're making their own stick figure anime. But that guy was named Boss, and he was like one of the most popular people, one of the top people up in Heytena. And there was even like a own little community of people that had those were popular enough. He put in references for one of his most popular animations. So it wasn't just some people that just did nothing, but there was certainly a whole lot of people with a lot of ambition. Like, there's even some people that made their own, just straight up made their own little manga, like just for the fun of it. And then they moved to DeviantArt, but they did make some really good manga, like their own little manga, or like their own little manga story and all that. They even made also like a little spin-off series of The Legend of Zelda, and even their own original series, which they just called Trent. And it was actually a pretty good series, to be honest. They did reboot it like once, but other than that, it was actually a pretty fun series. So, yeah, other than that, okay, now what's for the Metro Kingdom? The whole kingdom is one vast city filled with skyscrapers. It seems it was built using the energy from power moons. Also, it just has a vast amount of power moons. That's all it's known for, just for the vast amount of energy, and that the city was powered by power moons. Okay. Okay, Metro Kingdom, New Donk City. Okay. See what we have here. Yeah, but Nintendo, if they decide to change the name of the Nintendo Online system because they said themselves that it is in beta, if they do actually give its own unique name like they did with Miiverse and all that, I would not be surprised. I would actually be like, that is flat out Nintendo. It's Bowser's ship. Let's go. Okay. Let's go on. Onward. Into this rainy area. Is there any moons I can get around here? Oh, hey, that block. Just flat out right there at the beginning. Okay. Maybe I should talk to that. Maybe I should talk to Pauline. See what she has to say. I'm sorry, but I don't really have time to chat right now. I need to figure out a way to save my city. Things have been in utter chaos since that brutish monster showed up. And he has the nerve to be advertising his wedding, this wedding of his all over New Donk City. A bit tasteless, if you ask me. Okay. Yeah, look at all those dang ads. Oof, how do you even get them up? Like, how'd you even fit all that on that ship? Oh well. Wait, is there actually a really big one right there? Oh my gosh, look at that really big one that's all faded away right there. Wow, he really is full of himself. Okay, got some coins. Like some currency coins, like some nickels and dimes and whatnot. Let's move on. You know, I wish that there were extra sections that you could actually go in between day and night and see different parts of the area and transition at certain times of the weather, at certain times of the year. That'd actually be pretty cool. But yeah, Nintendo, every single one of their communities they made, there were crazy parts of it, certainly. There's some weird parts of it, but I was really saddened when Haytena ended. Not as sad as when Miiverse ended, because I wasn't involved in it as other people, but a lot of other people were really sad about it. But I was really sad when I was especially sad when Haytena ended, because Haytena was at the time to me like YouTube. So when I saw that it just ended just out of nowhere and they said that they were getting rid of it, I was really sad. And yeah, they did bring it back. I know they did bring it back on the 3DS, but it's not the same. I mean, on the DSi, it had a lot more depth than what the version on the 3DS is. It's like a former shell of what it used to be. And then one of the 3DS is definitely not the best of what it could be. So, I know that it's just me being a bit selfish, but I do not consider that version of Haytena on the 3DS. I mean, functionality is a lot better, and you have a lot easier time with the animation, but it's just not the same. It is not the same Haytena as it used to be. It calls itself Haytena. No, it's not. Doesn't call itself Haytena. It's just Flipnote Studio. It's a bare bones version of what Flipnote Studio Haytena used to be. Because if anything, it's just called Flipnote Studio, and Haytena isn't back. If it was full on back, it would be called Haytena, but it's just Flipnote Studio online, online. And you have to pay. Yeah, you had to pay a certain amount of fee in order to keep your own online status. And yeah, back then, it was something like that in the old Haytena, but that was if you were popular enough and if you wanted to make your own account. But to just see people's videos is darn ridiculous, if you ask me. Like, I thought it was ridiculous to just have an account to just see other people's videos and not even have a good enough chance to even have your video. I'm like, what kind of service is that? This is not Haytena. Not even close to the original Flipnote Studio, because I remember Flipnote Studio. I still have animations that I saved from other old channels on Flipnote Studio, from Haytena onto Flipnote Studio. So I know that it is not the original Haytena that it used to be. But yeah, this is all the time I have for this episode, guys. And sorry for me rambling on about how Nintendo just shuts down good communities, but it did have to come to an end because I don't know. I think it was around the time when they just started to end. It's around the time when the 3DS started to come around, so I can see why they stopped it, but I was still pretty heartbroken when they shut down the service all of a sudden. I mean, I was only around in the service was only around for I think about 2 years to a year, but I was pretty heartbroken when it shut down. But that is all I had to say. I'll talk about something else in the next video, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya. Bye.